hi, let's start out with just it's nice to meet you.
Nice to see you too.
I have been so nervous about this. Like I've been talking to my YouTube members about it, and I'm just like, I am terrified going into this, just because like I see you as one of those like the people that are so high up on the line where I'm like, it's almost unapproachable in a way. Like I am just like humbled to be in the presence of somebody who's had such an impact in the gaming scene, and just having heard your music for years before I even knew who you were. Like I've heard your songs before I knew your name and before doing anything on YouTube, and I was just like, oh, it's kind of a neat song. I like how it goes and then just
Oh
I
my
had no
god.
way what years ago. And like
hmm
I just it's weird, kind of surreal to be talking to somebody who's had such an honestly indirect turned direct impact on my life. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
just the first thoughts getting into
that
this.
yeah, that's a big like huge compliant to me, like a compliance compliment to me. Yeah, that's a lot to me. Actually, I have how to say like due to language barrier, I speak like Japanese for most of my life, and
Yeah,
I started learning English only a few years ago.
right.
So I have been very disconnected, but like from the audiences in the West, like region, like in the
Mhm.
US, in the America, Europe, and also like the rest of Asia too. Like we don't share same language, so it's really considering like probably it's way back uh further more than I started learning English. So it's like really um how to say unreal to me to
Mhm.
like talk to like one of my audiences, audience, to how to say like talk about my music, about and everything that we are going to talk about through my own language, my own how to say communication.
Yeah.
And that is like fantastic
Yeah.
to have like this opportunity here.
And I've seen you do like obviously your shorts on YouTube like, explaining things that you've like made decisions and songs about and just getting into that. I haven't watched all of them. There's it's quite a few, surprising. I went to your channel and
Yeah.
I was like I should watch a few of these and make sure that I'm like somewhat in the know of like how you've been reaching out to the community and trying to make that connection a little bit stronger. And it's just cool to see that. And I think that's like a lot of people's hope for this is that they're like finally somebody's talking to Camellia, and it's like the way that it's been so strange for me talking to people, because I've talked to a few artists in the gaming scene, musicians
Mhm.
specifically, who are active, but people are just afraid to like approach and ask. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like all you have to do a lot of the time, any artist is going to be excited to share what they have done, like their experience. And so many people are afraid of that, and it's like just do
Yeah.
it, be bold, ask questions. Like that's how I've lined up every interview I've done. It's I send an email never expecting to see a response, and when I do I'm like, oh, they're here.
Yeah, most of the time, I kind of get it. Like, I'm also like, I was in back then. I was just a fan of like a lot of like musicians. I am still too, but
Yeah.
I'm very nervous about like asking questions, like sending personal email to anybody I admire.
Mhm.
So I kind of get it, but
Yeah.
sometimes having this kind of like opportunity to like talk about my stuff is really amazing. And I also like checked your content, and I really feel like how to say your approach to like introduce their like your stuff you're interested in is like amazing. So I just wanted to like at least yeah I wanted
Making
to
me blush
try.
over here. God.
No, I just wanted to like at least I wanted to like how things would turn out, and it turned out really well. So I just want to, talk to you. Yeah.
I've been definitely sharing, of course, like the how long it's been since we've been trying to set this up, and like you've
Yeah.
got a busy schedule, you've got a life, like, and I'm here waiting, and I can wait as long as people need. Like for any artist, I'm super interested in their career and what they've done. I will wait years if it takes that so I can talk to them because there are certain
I
things
appreciate it.
that it's like
Yeah.
I go for a broad question base when I do these, but also it's just getting to meet the person behind all of that work that's meant so much and being able to see
Mm.
their opinion on it, not just trusting a Wikipedia article about who they are and little scattered pieces of information. Like one specific question I've got in here, and I guess we might as well start with that one, even though it's
Okay.
a weird question. I was watching a YouTube like log of your life, like a mini documentary, and somebody mentioned that you did a like music contest for LGR label, and the song you made for that, it was like back in it was like 2009 or something. And they mentioned that your song for that is like lost media. It doesn't exist anymore. And I'm like, what? I didn't even think that would be possible, but yeah, like that's why they said it was
What contest did you say?
they said it was for LGR label.
Was your...
Yeah, you commented on this video, so I know you saw.
Oh yeah.
And it's like where you are in the world, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
And
Is that a lost media? Okay,
I guess,
sure.
yeah. Like I looked it up and I did a little like mini digging. I'm a huge like nerd about lost media, and I'm like, I gotta find this. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's such an odd thing that like you don't think about it until the hindsight. You're like, I'm just doing this because like I'm young and I'm trying to get out there, and you don't think to save stuff, and other people don't think to save it. So it ends up in this pile of media that you never get to hear again, and that's going to be one of those like holy grail things if people find it someday. It's going to be like this one song that got away.
Yeah, the one song that must be stored on like some like garbage HDD like hard disk.
And that's like always the hope, is that the person who made it has like an old computer covered in dust that still has it on there. It almost never happens, but it's like, oh. So
I kind of forgot like the question itself, but I think I have the song itself in on this like computer. I'm very what's the word, like conservative, like what's the word? Like
yeah,
who tried?
Yeah, you keep all the stuff to yourself. You like
exactly.
That's fair, especially like older stuff where you're like, I'm not proud of this anymore. Like I've come so far.
They
it's like,
throw it out.
But there's so many people out there, I'm sure, like at least people like me who are just like, there's a lost media of Camellia. What?
Yeah,
I'm sure we're a very small group of people, but there are a few out there who are like, whoa, even the guy who found that little piece of information, like at all, like I would have never found it if he hadn't mentioned it in his video. So it's just, there are people who notice, but also, well, the good thing is if you do have it, that means it's not lost, and you can and might share it someday. But
yeah, the thing is, like, probably I don't have the like original WAV file, like the uncompressed full, what's the word, like quality format. But I do probably I may have the like MP3 file, and it's quite, how to say, like tricky to share because it's like compressed. So I kind of don't want to like put it on my Bandcamp.
Right.
Maybe I can put it on my YouTube, but it's like from, I don't know, like 2010 or something.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
weird. I was like,
yeah, right.
I was not expecting you to say that you even had it. Like I was just gonna bring that up as like, oh, that's kind of a neat little like tidbit of information, just something. But man, the fact that you think you have it is pretty surprising.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I do have a lot of like my old catalog of my like works back in the day still on my computer. And if there's like any, how to say, like platform or like place that I can like dump these like things on, I'm open for it.
There's just the Internet Archive, if you've heard of that.
Yeah,
Because like you could just upload like a giant compressed like
yeah.
zip file of just all of it and be like, here's all of my old work.
Okay.
That I think
I
people would be
haven't
like, oh, like
like are they doing it? Like I don't know, like I don't know about like other artists,
yeah.
but are they like doing it
Act
on their own?
not usually, because usually it is the lost media community that finds those, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh, I
Ah,
found
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
copy on something," and then they'll upload it there. But
Mm.
the original artists have done that before, when like people looking for it comment on it, and then they're like, "Oh, people! I didn't even know people cared about this. Here you go," and then they'll put it out there. Happens a lot with
Yeah.
like lost episodes of animation and cartoon
Oh
shows.
yeah.
So
Oh
then you get
yeah.
like random producers who are like, "Oh yeah, I still have a copy of that on VHS in my back room," and it's like, this has been lost for 20 years. Where have you
Yeah,
been?
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh my
that
gosh.
would be awesome if you just did that and just threw it out there into the world. People would be
Yeah.
like, yes, just because there
Oh
is,
god.
as like of course an enjoyer of your music, but also as
Mm.
an artist in my own right, there is a factor of like you it's cool to see somebody's work and like that journey from where they came to where they are. And
Mm.
obviously a lot of your stuff is public and still available on multiple sites, so it's like, sure, not all of it's like hard to get to, but there are those couple where you're just like, it's somewhere and it's gotta be somewhere.
Yeah. It's gotta be somewhere, but like you can't find it like uh online,
Mhm.
but it's stored in on someone's like computer.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
so that was just kind of a first, like, figured I might as well bring that up while we were here. But
Oh my
in
gosh, yeah.
general, it's just like an actual starting point for your musical career, your interest. How did you start? Like, that's this obvious question to ask, is like what your inspiration was at the beginning, why you got into this. I did learn some of that in my dive of yours, but not everyone watching this will have seen all those. So feel free to start a life story if you want to get into the weeds of it
Okay.
all.
Okay. So it's not a like a fun ahaha story kind of like that, but it's just like plain how I got into like making music myself. But when I was 11, 10, 11ish, like very young, very like kid, very child, I had a few friends that I talked to online, like probably they're also like 10, 11ish, like very child online friends
Yeah.
back then. And he like one day he asked me to um, compose his theme song for like kind of a joke, like obvious joke.
Or just like make
But
me a song, like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay.
exactly. And I knew like there's some kind of like technology that you can make music out of like your computer,
Mhm.
like using MIDI or like sampler. These kind of stuff exists. So I kind of didn't know how to do like create your own music on computer, but I didn't try. But that joke triggered me to okay, let's do something like out of my curiosities. And I tried like making his theme song. That is pure 100% lost media, by the
Yeah,
way.
I figured that would
Yeah,
probably be.
yeah, and I had a lot of fun like doing like making my first how to say own composition. So I started like making music out of my um curiosity, and I started like making music as my hobby back then, and I gradually started to like actually producing music like online public, and Nico Nico video started to like how is that launched,
Mm.
and I started to like being active on the platform. Vocaloid stuff happened, and that's the how I started to like making music and started to um as a like partially musician.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
And that,
that's the first experience. Yeah.
and that was
Sorry.
just like the start of it was like a joke. Like your friend was like, "Hey, make
Yeah.
me a theme song." Like
Yeah.
I always
Absolutely.
wish I had a theme song playing when I was walking down the street, and you were like, "I got you."
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's such a fun like source of
Yeah.
inspiration, a fun reason to get into it, and the fact that it stuck is really
Mhm.
interesting because like
Yeah.
usually that's the sort of thing where it's just like, ah, yeah, whatever, bro, and then you do something, it's dumb, and you never touch it again
Yeah.
because that's how kids
Yeah.
work. So like, why did you? What kept the interest then?
Um, so until this day, I'm actually like I like forever since I started to like doing music, I have been I have been having fun on like how to say creation, like expressing myself. Not expressing myself, but like constructing music
Mm.
based on my what I like to listen, what the genre I like, the sound I like. So it's not like there's anything that constantly driving me
Mm.
doing things, but I kind of feel like I like my how to say like it's such a fun activity so that I like almost like I can't quit like making music. Does it that make sense?
It's like I kind of like you said, the vibe I give off. A lot of people say like my energy is very like warming. Like they really like the
Mm,
feeling of how I talk about music and I just get excited. And it's like, yeah, cuz like I love music and that it's as simple as that sometimes. So like your
yeah.
essence of just loving what you do and sticking with it because it's fun is totally valid. I think that works. Like it might be more simple than a lot of people would expect because some people are
Mhm.
like, "Oh, there's got to be like he was born a savant in the field. He's
Yeah.
so brilliant." And it's like not always. Sometimes you just stumble into something and you're like, "Okay, I
Mm.
like this. I'm going
I
to keep
really like
going."
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just ends up
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. I sometimes try to like word it that way. Like I was born like music like within me. Like sometimes I word it that way, but probably in real life it's kind of like I really I have a lot of fun like making music. Just like really that simple, I guess.
Yeah. That's always hard for quite a few people to grasp. Is just sometimes
Hmm.
people fall into it. Like some people do say that like there's that one thing you were born to do, and sometimes people never like discover what that is, and some people do.
Mm.
I figure you're probably one of those people who just stumbled into music, but that's like
Yeah.
your thing. You get it. You got it in your growth, your immensely quick growth to like how like starting out as a joke and doing a few like contests on the side and now you're you. You're somebody that I'm nervous to talk to, which is probably strange for a
Yeah.
lot of people. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's there is definitely that essence of like sometimes you just wake up and you're like, wow, I want to try this. Oh my God, I like it. I love this. I'm going to keep doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. One thing I kind of like suggest people to do is like if you're interested in like doing some run thing, at least you might want to try once. Like there might be some like how to say like financial hurdle
Mm-hmm.
that you might to like overcome, but there are so many things exist online free like
Right.
because like
Especially
thanks to
these
like
days, it's so easy to just
yeah
pick something up and go.
yeah, thanks to like those like kind people like offers like a lot of like useful software.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my case, in music terms, like software synthesizer, like free
Like
how to say like
VSTs, plugins.
yeah
Yeah.
plugins,
It's
and you can just like pick it up and at least try.
yeah,
It's like
I
completely
mean,
free.
Reaper is entirely free. You can get a few
Yeah.
free VSTs and just
Mhm.
try.
Yep.
And it's legal if you do that. There's
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
other ways, but we don't condone those in public.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but
And
we all did that, I think. Like, I'm sure that you probably pirated a few things. I know I
yeah.
did. Like, we're not gonna hide like this is some sort of like morally green, perfect world. Everyone does that, but also nowadays there are so many legitimately free ways to get into things, especially in the creative field. Free drawing programs that are
Yep.
extremely powerful. I edit with DaVinci. It's free. I've bought the full version, but I started with the free version for like a year.
Yeah.
And when I first started editing, and like that was kind of more my bread and butter when I was getting into the creative side of things, I totally bought Adobe software. I definitely, at the age of 10, I could afford that. Like,
I'm sure about that, but
yeah, exactly.
yes,
But
yes.
yeah, it's,
If you're getting into like doing that thing, you might want to like purchase some of the like
yeah,
software. Like I purchased like Reaper. I
right.
purchased a lot of like softwares like that have like free version of it,
Yeah,
but I now using like the full
right. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the way I see it is like if you're learning something, that's great, but also if you're using it enough and you're realizing this is a thing for you to keep up with, do your due diligence and when you can buy the full version. That's why I did with Reaper. I've done that with a bunch of stuff. That's why I used DaVinci's free version because I coming from Adobe software, I didn't know how I was going to adapt to the new one. So I was like, I'm not going to commit to that yet. And then I did because it was great. And I was like, here I am. So
Yeah.
yeah, and again with drawing programs, there's so many out there that you don't even have to buy because they're just 100% free. And that's in the modern day is so much easier and like more accessible than it was. I mean, I was kind of starting to get into music production stuff back in like 2010 too, but just nowhere near as aggressively. Like I did a few things, put some MIDI files into FL Studio that I totally bought and then played around with them and just was figuring it out, that's how you do things and you
Yep.
discover what you're into. And while I
Mhm.
enjoyed it, I just kind of liked editing and directing film more. So I kind of started there. Then I ended up in animation somehow. And that was my career for like 2 or 3 years. And now I do this. What the hell am I doing? Like, I didn't commit to anything until I was like in my early 20s. Like, you can take your time. So it's,
And yeah, and sometimes you how to say like that like random branch of your
mm,
pathway is like sometimes like helpful for your like future
yeah.
how to say like project in like sideway,
Yeah.
and that is really like interesting.
Yeah, like between getting into my like editing stuff and doing filmmaking, I was like, this isn't quite enough. I want to do a little bit more acting. So I got into like online voice acting. I was doing that for a while, just a
Oh,
bunch
cool.
of whatever free projects that I could find, and they needed somebody, so I did it. And then that led me to animation. And then, now I'm here. So it's like there are a bunch
Yeah.
of like branching paths that will lead you in any direction. But it's still funny that yours started out from a friend just going, "Hey, you should."
Yeah. This could like never happen if like he never asked me
Right,
to
like you
like
may have never stumbled into it if yeah.
no.
What-
That's really funny. Yeah.
Have you given him like royalties for that option? Like,
No, no, no.
You
Well,
should be like,
I have
man,
like yeah,
I owe my
unfortunately,
whole career to you.
yeah, I have lost the connection to
Oh,
him at some point in my life. I have like few friends who like not intentionally like unintentionally changed my how to say like life like in a like large way,
yeah,
major way,
big
but
impacts, and they come
yeah.
in at any random time, and you're just like, wow, I didn't
Mhm.
know it. I needed that in my life, but here
Yeah,
we are.
exactly. And but yeah, I kind of like lost like connection to them like
Yeah,
eventually in like in my life.
yeah. I mean,
That is that
that's
is the
fair.
unfortunate thing. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like okay, kind of focusing back in on your music stuff, composition.
Yep.
How do you start? How like do you start a song with like an idea in your mind? Do you have a melody set up, or do you start with like rhythm? I've known so many musicians that have a different answer for that, and some of them are just like, I don't know. Sometimes I just start slapping the keyboard, and then something cool comes out. So like, how is
Yeah.
yours? What do you like? How do you stack things together in your project?
Uh, there are two answers for this, and one one is like the first one is someone like when someone like commissioned me to create like a song piece for them, then I usually start to like brainstorm ideas for lyrics, melodies, like what kind of vibe that would fit for these commission requirements. Sometimes I try to, yeah, I sometimes like slap like keyboard and like try to like come up with ideas. If there's like requirements, I try to align on the direction of the vibe.
Mm.
So I usually start to come up with the idea first.
All
So
right.
probably that's one answer for
Yeah.
this. And the other one is like when I try to work on my like personal project, like album, EPs, uh, like online, just like my song.
Mm.
Then I start to. It's like almost like purely based on my interest at the time.
Mm.
Like sometimes it's from the music that I listen to at the time, phrase or instruments that I kind of want to use. So I think I usually how to say extend the idea from that, like what I want to do.
It's just like
Does
in the
that
moment, whatever you happen to be interested in, you're just
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna try to. Is it like a replication thing? Like you're trying to copy that sound, or is it just like, here's all of my like bubble of influence? I'm gonna try to make something out of all these pieces.
Yeah, like I think it's more like a latter, like yeah, probably there's like some abstract abstractification.
Yeah.
It's like a taking that like interest and like ingest that like once, and that makes it, how to say, your um like element of like what you want to recreate.
Mm.
It's not like recreating the original material,
Right.
like copying that, but
Yeah.
also like ingesting and like recreating inside your creation, how to say, your style kind of thing. Does
Right.
it make sense? Sorry,
Yeah, that
I'm
makes
sure.
sense. I mean, it's
Yeah.
similar to like, I'm sure a lot of musicians do that as well, but especially in like physical art, that's how a lot of like drawn artists develop their own personal style is like, I'm influenced by all these random individual people that I
Mm,
love the work of. You know, you've been following these people for years and you try to emulate just a little bit of that. And sometimes that's how you learn how to draw it too. You're like, I'm going to
yeah.
copy down what they've drawn as close as I can, and then those like little influences kind of soak into your greater pool of interests and everything else, and you end up with your
Totally.
own style. So it's kind of cool to hear that works the same way for music for people, because I've
Mm.
only ever thought of that in a physical media sort of way. So
Yeah,
hearing that it works for music is kind of neat. Just the fact that you can be
yeah.
like, I want to sound like Skrillex, but I don't want to be Skrillex. You know,
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
you just kind of
exactly.
approach it with like
Mhm.
the general idea of how they're doing it, trying to emulate that. But I'm sure in that process too, you end up doing something else. You're like, no, I like that better, and then it becomes its own song.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah, that made me like remind one of my song from my new album. Like it's kind of like a little bit like advertisement, but I released in an album in October. No, it's August, and it's called like Kimara Dragon, and that has a song called like Mambo Combo. It's like a it's based on like mambo genre, like from Latin. And I was listening to like a lot of like Latin music at the time, and I kind of want to like how to say make a hybrid of that mambo genre and EDM, like my
Yeah.
style music, and that's like the exact process that I did at the time, and I think that's like more like directly how's it aligned to what I just said, like trying to taking the elements from the that mambo genre and like recreating myself and like combining it with my style. I guess that's what comes to
Yeah.
my mind.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. But how do you balance that? Like your music is, for lack of a better word, insane. How do you balance all of that going on? And like not just structurally, but in the mix as well.
Okay. Ah.
Or is it just like natural to you? Like I guess
Yeah, how do I balance? Recently I kind of started to feel like my mix is like awkward, not gonna lie. But um, besides that, if I like try to how to say more optimistic about my mixing, um, I huh. I try to balance based on the like climax part. Like climax part should have like the biggest punch, biggest like intensity. So probably that's the like 100%, like the full intensity, full mix volume, full like how to say the maximum intensity that the balance allows to.
And does that stay consistent or do you like change it? Like that's I don't know if you come across the term dynamic mixing, but that's kind of what that is. Like
Yeah, yeah.
do you like change where things are mixed and how it's mixed throughout the song, like throughout the runtime? You're like, I'm going to change this right here. I'm going to boost
Oh
this and
yeah.
cut that. Do you do that? Or is it just like you put on an overall mix and just go, whatever happens, happens?
But yeah, I usually do like how to say like dynamic mixing. I kind of want to like I do like dump like overall like mixed
Yeah.
like web file, but like I try to like
Mm.
master it with like specific like volume automation, like
Mm.
equalization, like dynamically, like some for some part, sometimes like the like treble is like too harsh, so I sometimes even cut down that kind of like things. I usually want usually I try to do. Sometimes I need to like skip that to how to say like for the time constraint
Yeah,
sometimes, but
save some time. Like I figure that's something you would more do on personal work, and if it's something that's like commissioned for a game, you're just like, nobody's gonna be paying attention to it anyway. They're playing the game. Like
yeah.
the mix is a little bit less important for a lot of cases in that. But like
And there's
personal
sometimes
work, you're
the
like, I've got to pay attention to
yeah,
it.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Like there's sometimes a separate mixer or like mastering engineer like beside me, so I sometimes like leave everything to them, like not doing like any kind of like after like affecting or like adjustment.
Does that just to kind of speaking of the game thing and like your commission work, does that affect the composition ever? Does that like something where you're like, I know what game this is and what it's going to be and what it's going to look like? Do you like change the composition based on what the song is going to do? Like if it's Voltex and you know they're going to be like dragging things across the screen, you're like, I want to accent those. Do you do that, or is it just whatever happens happens?
Um, so honestly, like technically speaking, it's like whatever happens happens.
Mhm.
I have like no influence on the like game itself. I just make music and I just ship it and I will see what's gonna happen.
Right, like
So it's
months
not.
later, you're like, oh yeah, I made that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sometimes like years later, like
Yeah, like that's happened with everyone I've talked to on an interview where they've
yeah,
made music for Arc Knights especially or any other game and they're just like I'll ship this off, they'll get the final okay, and then it's like a year later they're playing it at a live show and they're like
yeah.
invited to the show and they're like I didn't even know that was out yet.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens. Yeah, a lot.
There was this is just kind of a side thing, but there was somebody in my channel members who mentioned they were going to be at an event that you're going to be at. Hold on, let me see what this was. It was
Okay.
earlier the night. I wanted to make sure. They're going to be going to Tokyo in November for an Archaea event, and that you're going to be
Oh,
there.
I see.
And I was just like, oh, like I didn't even know that there were like events for that. Like I knew that there were live shows for a lot of the games I cover, but Archaea is still one of those ones where I haven't like really gotten into it because uh I'm not a huge like rhythm game yeah, like despite being a drummer, rhythm games are the bane of my existence because like I'm so freeform as a drummer that I'm like I hate being told what to do.
Absolutely.
I've never loved
I totally get it.
And it's like is that something that you deal with too, like as a musician, or is that just like a me being stubborn thing?
And not like okay. So I used to play like drums too, and actually, I used to play like a lot of like percussions, like timpani, like bass drum, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have been like always the person that I'm going to not improvise, but how to say, do what I can do at that moment. Like how to say, like interactively, like doing the thing.
Yeah, like just being
Yeah.
present in that moment and playing the game. It's
Yeah.
because like that's something I've always like even with like Guitar Hero, I can't I couldn't get my fingers to do what they wanted. Like I could play on medium at best and most songs.
Yeah.
And for the drums, especially like the drum controllers for those, I hated it because I'm like, that's not where the hi-hat is. Like it wants you to go over here. It's like I don't play open-handed. I can. I've always kind of wondered if that was like a thing for other people who play those and are musicians, because like I know I'm stubborn, but I didn't know if that was like, just me being stubborn or if it's like I can't handle it either because they're so strict with it, and like you know the songs in and out when you make them too, so it's like but you're feeling something else in that moment, and why wouldn't it accept this? Why am I failing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm on that side, like stubborn side. I only play the games that I how to say I like physically move, like DDR, like Dance Dance Revolution, Beat Saber. What was that? Like these kind of like active game.
Yeah.
I do love these because that allows me to like move freely. It's kind of like more like unrestricted.
Yeah, I've never played Beat Saber, but I think I would do okay with it. Like it's just not something I used to love DDR, but I was too fat to keep up with most of the songs as a kid. So, like,
Get it though.
Oh man.
I mean I was like really fat like back in the day, and I didn't like my how to say my body myself.
Right, like when I was in like middle school, they would wheel in a DDR machine like once a year, and we were like, whoa, because it was something you do not get, especially where I grew up. We're in the middle of a cornfield here, in the middle of the country. So when DDR showed up, we're all like, whoa, that exists. And then we would play it. And it's like, I could never keep up with it because I had the cardio of a rock. So I'm a little better now. Are there any like happy accidents when you make songs? Because that's something I've always found interesting. Like while you're working on something and you accidentally find that like one melody and you're like, ooh, I'm keeping that. Like any of those where like you stumble into it.
Okay, I think that happens like from time to time, like on my production too. But I'm trying to like think if there's like any good example for this. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So I don't want to plug in, but I kind of like how to say remember the newest works
Yeah,
first.
of
So
course.
yeah, so actually I released the an album like collaboration with Nanahira vocalist,
Hmm.
and that has a song that's called like Moving, and that song has um a section that completely cuts out the backtrack, like backing track. Like it just like leaves everything but vocal on some like occasions.
I really like it when
And that
songs do that. It's like a soft spot for
yeah,
me when like everything melts away and you're just left.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was yeah. And that was like completely like pure accident. I just like instead of like chopping the vocal, I chopped the like backtrack for it,
Mm.
and that made it 100% funnier. So I just like kept the idea and also like how to say incorporate it in
Yeah.
the more proper way.
That's
So yeah, that
that's a fun one. Just the fact that you're just like,
yeah,
oops, cut out the
oh
wrong
yeah,
thing, but it sounds kind of neat.
sounds
Like,
sounds kind of funny. Okay,
yeah.
I can take it. Yeah.
I
So
feel
yeah,
like
that kind of like yeah. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
no,
go
it's
on.
like I feel like that's happened with a lot of people with like those emotional buildups where like the song is like very big and like it just got this energy to it. You're like, God, I'm really feeling it. Everything is welling up inside me. And then it cuts all the backing out and it's just you and the vocalist, and you're like left there in that moment and it really hits you. Especially when it's like an emotional song and it's like, oh,
Mm,
that's such a soft spot for me when people
that's
do that. I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, how dare you
absolutely.
play with my heart like that?
Absolutely, yeah. And then the funny thing is, like my song is kind of like comedy side, so it's like a more like a not like emotionally, but like it's more like comedical effect. Like it's just
Right.
like funny one-off joke. But
Right.
I think yeah,
It's nice that there are
that is
multiple ways to do that. So it doesn't
yeah,
have to be an
yeah,
emotional beat. It can just be
yeah.
like, that sounds kind of goofy. Like,
I think it's in principle it's the same like nature. Like it's kind of like you try to focus on the vocal like suddenly because like backtrack cuts off. Like it's kind of like same principle but like affecting this like
right.
different
Yeah.
ways, I guess.
It's like, I've heard that a lot of like heavy metal songs do the same thing where it's like they're trying to get you to feel the anger, so like everything cuts away. Like, do you know
Oh,
oh man, I got to remember the song. Do you know Linkin Park by name?
I do know like who they are.
There was this song, I think it was Faint was the name of it, where like there is like a 15-second scream he does after a build up and it just like just literally just, and sounds much better than that obviously, and he
Okay.
goes and it's insane and it like changes shape because he's like forming it to keep that sound going.
Oh, I think I know the song.
Yeah,
That
it's
that like long, like really long. How
yeah,
to say like
There's
a little bit
there's
like
like a super famous live take of
Mhm.
that where he went that like record time because like
Yeah.
you could never do that live, right? If you want to bet, like, and he did that, and everyone's like, "Holy shit!" Like, and it's so impressive to see that. But it's like in the song's context, that is so impactful because the song
Mhm.
kind of drops away a little bit. You're left with the rhythm section and just that raw anger in that moment,
Mhm.
and it's like those things, or it's like it can be angry, it can be sad, it can be for fun, but the fact is that it just hits you every time.
Yeah.
It's just one of
That
those
is
things.
mhm. That is pure like talent and also like the what's called their how to say it, like program. Not a program, but they had to like plan a lot to make it 100% emotionally impactful.
Yeah, like where you place it in the song matters a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you start quiet, it'll be completely different than if you cut out the
Mm.
music and end with a lot. And that kind of leads me to the world building thing too, because I'm sure you have to do world building for your songs. How does that
Yep.
work for you? Is it just kind of like a, I want to tell a story and here it is? Or are you like going in kind of similar to the earlier question about starting your composition? Is it like, I have an idea of this world I want to make, and I'm going to make sure that it comes like to a full image by the end.
It depends, actually. Not gonna lie, it's kind of like a vague answer, but it depends. Sometimes I got the idea from the first, or sometimes I got inspiration from like other media. Like I do love like playing games, so sometimes I get like inspiration from the game, and try to kind of recreate the same vibe with the like world building that game offers.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just like just a dungeon, sometimes just a city, or sometimes just like a landscape, but I kind of want to recreate that, so I just like kind of like import that into my song. Sometimes that works that way, but sometimes I just like finish the song like sorely, and I start to like at the end of the song, I like song creation, I need to name the song. So now I try to, how to say, word, like put it into like a few words that represent, or how to say, like title the song as vibe.
That actually leads into one of the Q&A
Hi.
questions,
Yeah.
because somebody was like, how do you come up with these insane song titles? Like, specifically Daniel Yee. I want to make sure I like credit the person who asked. And I'm like, that's a very valid question, because you have some wild titles.
Yeah, I do, I guess. I think that happens, like, especially
You title songs like mangaka
Yeah.
title their works.
Yeah,
It's like every song
absolutely.
of yours is a new isekai. Like, how do you do
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. I was about to say that happens when I try to like title the song, but I didn't come up with idea. But I sometimes try to like intentionally do that, like on purpose. So I think that's my nature, I guess. I think I was just try to, how to say, okay, let's give it a freaking I don't know, like 250 characters of like letters, alphabet.
You just
And
like try to max out the allowance of like what they'll.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
And like I did see like your short about uh
Yeah.
atmosphere, and how that was like an
Yeah,
accident, and
atmosphere.
because you're like,
Yeah.
that was just a typo.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
just typo.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, yeah, that's a happy accident, I guess. I didn't like the typo like back then, before like figuring out people actually do like the typo, like because of like it seems like atom and atmosphere.
Yeah, that's how I took it when I saw it. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there must be a purpose for this. But and then I saw that short like a few months later, and I'm like, you're kidding. Like, I was reading
Absolutely
into
not.
that, like, there's got to be a story behind why he has the word atom in here. Maybe it has something to do with the creation of the universe. Like, I was like fucking big brain trying to figure this out, and then I see your short, like, oh, not actually, I just fucked up.
So yeah, sometimes I do intentionally like try to, how to say, like tweak the spelling, or like do the random weird stuff on the like spelling or wording or whatever. Sometimes I just typo
Yeah.
mistake, and like.
Does that process change for when you're like doing collaborative works or like commission works? Like, do you avoid certain things when you're doing that, or do you just kind of go like, I don't know, it's song number 15, I'm gonna call it song 15, the great one, part 2.
The great one.
Like, you gotta
Absolutely.
just throw in
Absolutely,
words.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that affects me to how I create, or how I title, or like how I make like lyrics. Sometimes when I collab with some people, like VTubers, vocalists, and whatever, I sometimes intentionally try to like mention some things, or some like themes like alcohol,
Mm.
drugs, like I intentionally like avoid because of like collaboration. I don't
Right.
want to like, make them how's it make them associated with these like stuff. So yeah, that affects me a lot. But like on personal like projects, I just go free, like
I
do whatever I don't
I do
want.
think there is definitely a
Yeah.
potential in the comedy of like naming a song that you're working on like a VTuber with. So you end up with a song that's like it's completely unrelated, but it's like titled Guargura loves alcohol, and like that's it. Just like being
Just like giving random like lore, like
yeah.
lore or like
The song is
fake
something
lore.
completely unrelated, and then like the
Oh,
song's
that,
about like her last relationship, but like the title is just like I love puppies. It's like
that sounds fun, man.
there's a
Yeah.
little comedy to that, but at the same time, like you said, there's things to think about when it comes to the IP of it all, and a
Yeah.
lot of their producers would not be okay with that sort of thing. Some
Mhm.
would. I definitely know some would. Like I could see somebody like Snuffy, for example, doing
Oh,
some
yeah.
wild title of just like,
Oh, okay.
how did you get
Really?
away with that? Like there's got to be a few out there who would just be tickled pink to have the opportunity to have a wild title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I usually go like a safe way when it comes to like collaboration, but
Yeah.
that makes me really want to try like
There
how
are,
to say
yeah, there's definitely a few out there that would say yes to
yeah.
like some
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Maybe like there's limits to everything, of course. I'm not saying
Mhm.
throw that at everyone that you meet, but if you
Yeah.
know their work and you know they're a little bit more goofy, throw something weird at them. They might be like, "Yeah, it sounds fun."
Okay, yeah. I don't want to like get serious, but like when it comes to like Japanese corporation, like Japanese like
Mm.
culture and corporation, like it gets
Harder
like
for
a little
that.
bit more
Yeah.
restrictive.
I think the
And
Western VTuber scene is so much more free with that
yeah,
because
freedom.
that's
Yeah,
kind of part of the IP to an extent. Is you get people like Mori Calliope who are a little bit more like rough and tumble in their persona, and it's like, okay, sure, let's just throw in whatever the hell. But at the same time, I feel like they take their music career specifically so serious that they might not say okay to certain things. But then there's also definitely ones that are just like, yeah, as chaotic as possible.
Hell
Let's
go. I love that vibe. I do love that vibe, and that's I think that reflects to my titling method, like way. I guess like I just like go with my vibe, and I just like do random thing on my title and my music too.
That is
And
entirely fair. It's better to save your own like career than it is to like push the envelope too far with the wrong person. So way more of a simple question, but I've never figured this out, and I'm sure you've shown it in a few of your shorts. But like, what's your DAW of choice? Like, what's your program that you like to use the most?
Oh yeah,
to create?
DAW. Okay.
Yeah.
DAW, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I use Reaper, and that is my own like only DAW I use.
You use Reaper to make the frank nonsense that you create. Really?
Absolutely,
I find that insane as somebody who uses Reaper. Like that's what I run my drum like pathing through and everything whenever I do live streams, and I can't imagine trying to get that thing to work with like the amount of layers that I'm sure you have. Because like, yeah, it's fine, but I feel like it's so I love Reaper. Reaper people don't hate me for this. It is so inconvenient. It's like
Really?
For me it's like a land of like every little thing there seems to be an extra option, a decision to make. There's compared to other ones that I've used, at least like FL Studio's very straightforward and beginner friendly, but then Reaper, while beginner friendly and very accessible, has so many options that are like nestled into each other. And it's like, I can't find this setting. Where the hell is it? And it's, and even down to like MIDI stuff where it's like, you have to turn on like 4 different things to get your MIDI keyboard to connect sometimes, and it's like
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes still do like connect like my MIDI keyboard like I don't know like 6 times like and then finally figure it out
and then
like
you're like looking
I
through the
need to
list like which one is it?
I need to like turn on this like check button.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's weird. Like I assumed you used like Ableton or something, like something more
Oh
like
yeah.
traditional to most EDM people, or FL, because a lot of people love that. And it's like, wow, Reaper is not what I anticipated.
Actually, so like for Ableton, I kind of feel like Ableton is kind of like similar to Reaper, like from the perspective of like customizability. Like you can just like configure like however you want, like based on your preference, right?
I would definitely say like Reaper is kind of a more accessible version of Ableton for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like Ableton is there and I've tried to use it, emphasis on tried, and I was just like, there are so many submenus. I ended up with Reaper because it was easier to get. And then I was like, well, this is kind of just the same problems I was having with Ableton, but at least I don't have to pay for this one, which is so much better. At least at first. It was like I ended up paying for Reaper a few years after that. So yeah, I never expected Reaper out of like that answer for you. Wow.
Yeah, probably that would be a little bit more on the hard choice for me, like when I was starting out like making music. But in the end, I think like the Reaper like works really, how to say, good for me because like I really like making myself like I sorry, I used to like major in freaking like coding like information like computer like kind of thing back in like college days.
Additional question then. Have you ever made your own plugin for Reaper? Because they do have like their JavaScript like abilities. Like, did you ever try that, or did you just not get near it?
I tried once. I occasionally still like tweak like Reaper. What's the word? Replugins.
Oh
like
yeah.
There's like a pre-installed like plugins that is coded with Lua or Python.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
I've
you
used
can
a
just
few of those.
yeah.
They're surprisingly good. I think people like sleep on them because it's like, oh well, it's not like the highest grade one. It's not the one that you buy. And again, everyone on the internet telling you to buy this specific plugin, but it's like their 1145 compressor is very. I use that on my drum mix like today.
They're actually really good. And also like there are some like plugins that you can just like code them to, how's that, like tweak or modify or adjust like based on your preference. And I sometimes try doing that. Sometimes that works, sometimes like that doesn't work, so I just revert back. But from the completely scratch, I have tried it once and that didn't work. Not gonna lie.
I've looked at how like the documentation looks for making that, and I'm like, this makes no sense. And I have minor knowledge in coding too. I'm not a coder. I didn't go to college for it. I took some courses on Python just so I could kind of understand it a little bit. But I was looking at that documentation. I'm like, how would anyone make that? Like, I'm not surprised more people don't.
No sense. Yeah, that just makes no sense to me. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
So on that subject then of just like the complexity of getting into things, very generic question again here, but like,
okay, sure.
Do you have any advice for new people getting into this? Because I know there are a lot of people who were like responding to my announcement of me talking to you who are very like new and budding musicians. What advice in general do you have for them when it comes down to it?
Okay, probably like based on this conversation, probably not you not choosing Reaper is probably like the first priority. Yeah, like
Again, if you're comfortable with it, try it. But
yeah,
like,
sure, 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 sure. That's half joking. So
yeah,
like, if you feel like comfortable with like with using Reaper, go for it. It's like half free. Like you might need to like pay $60, $60 or something, but it's like completely free to start on this. So if you feel like completely fine with Reaper, go for it. That's great. And um so probably the advice I can give is probably you might need to learn how to like finish one song to publish.
yeah,
That's
the process of
yeah,
like finish it, like, oh, don't finish it, put it out. Like,
yeah.
it's not going to be perfect. Just release it.
You can probably like put it on like social like nowadays it's everyone watches like short media like short
Mm.
TikTok like Instagram reels, so probably you might not have to like finish it was one song, but at some point you probably need to like switch that like short like unending song to one like packaged song that has finish like
Mm.
the finale, the close, and you have to learn that and you have to learn how to publish that. That's
Yeah,
one of the things that is completely out of like like making music. So I think that's one advice I can give.
that is fair. It reminded me a lot of this guy in my Discord server who
Yeah.
he showed me like a work in progress that he had, and it's like I was asking for that. I wanted to see what people could do and what they've made, and he had this work in progress where it ended, and there was a span of time there was nothing, and then all of a sudden his own voice is just like, "That's it, that's the song." You can go now.
No.
And then it had like a very quick clip of like the drop from earlier, and then it cut out again, and he's like, no, I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
do that to you. And then that was the end of the song. And I'm like, that is so goofy, just to be like, that's it,
That's good.
go
That's
home.
good. That's good. Yeah. Absolutely freaking
Yeah,
good.
I was like,
Yeah.
you need to leave that there. Like, he put it in there as a joke for the work in progress upload. I'm like, no, that's the end of the song now. You can't just throw that away. That's too fun. Gotta have fun with it. Oh,
But yeah, that yeah, like it includes like how you finish the song. You can just like cut it off and just do the goofy thing. That's good.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
at least
just
you can just leave it
finishing
as
it
like
is,
yeah,
yeah.
whip forever.
Right. Yeah, that's obviously something in drawn art too, where like you got to release the sketches that you're working on all the time, because even if you never plan on finishing them, if you never put them out there, you're just going to sit inside your own mind all the time,
Yeah.
and you're never going to finish anything, and you're always going to be like, I'm not good enough. And it's like, you'd be surprised how low people's expectations are of you, because yours are so much higher. Like,
Yeah.
you are always going to be your worst critic, and that's a very common knowledge
Mhm.
thing at this point. And so many people are still afraid to put it out there, and it's like, you gotta throw it out there. It doesn't matter how many people see it. Like, hopefully you got a few friends who are willing to give you advice. I had somebody on a live stream who's like, I don't have any music friends to ask, and just like, throw it into my server. There's like 10 of us at minimum. It's like, that's of who's active, who would be like completely open to giving you an opinion. And like, the other fear was like, well, they're my friends, they're not going to give me real opinions. They're just gonna be like, oh, it's good because you're my friend.
Good.
And it's like, I don't think anyone who's actually your friend would do that if you were like legitimately trying to learn something. A real friend is gonna be like, that's ass, fix it. It's just how it is, like a good friend will give you real thoughts. A bad friend will be like, oh, it's okay, and have nothing else. Like, obviously it helps if they're also experienced in music, because then they'll know how to fix it and give you that information. But also there is a good amount of merit to just putting a song out there for people to hear who aren't musicians because they hear it differently. That's why pop music exists. It's like the masses like a different sound, and if you can figure out what that is, you will be a millionaire in a couple of years. if you can figure out how to produce where like everyone likes it, and then you're working with Taylor Swift in 5 years, and you like there you go.
Yeah.
But if you never start, you won't get it out.
Yeah, probably like listening to critics, like including yourself, is important, but like overcoming like critics is like more important to how to say like making music. So like you might need to like ignore at the last moment if you want to like publish your work. Finish your work.
You gotta like get over yourself to get it out there, and that's the hardest hurdle. Like I've actually got a lot of people, especially recently, I've been touching on some songs from the Roblox community and some of the soundtracks in there, and there are some really good songs, but then there's also plenty of need for them to work on their technical skill, and I don't hide that opinion. And pretty much all of them have been very like positive in response to that, because they're like, you're right. I'm new. I just got here. Hi. And like, thank you for being honest about it. I'll work on that. It's like, that's what we're looking for. That's the sign of somebody who's going to become a better musician. Somebody who's like, okay, they're not just blindly liking this song because it's connected to this thing that I like. I've never played Roblox and never will. You know, it's not interesting to me. But I do love music, and I will give you your opinion, and I have no reason to not like give you my real opinion. So I don't.
Yeah. And that's a good thing that to have like you have like someone to like give their like honest opinion, like honest feedback to like make your work like better,
right?
Like improving. I think that's really good thing to have. Like thing like how to say like people and like element to have like how to say actually advancing your step.
Yeah, because like again, if you have just a bunch of friends who are like, that sounds pretty good, you're never gonna figure out your issues and like how to improve them. There's this one producer, I don't know if you'll recognize the name at all, but Reek, R-E-E-K.
Yeah, I recognize him. Yeah,
brilliant production. I love his mixing. It's insanely clean. I'm like, that is unfair how like how good that is. But I've also heard so many producers out there, and some of them are just insanely skilled. Like I did a video on some songs from Akira Complex, and found out that you had worked with them on like that one mix of that you did of their song. And I was like, that's insane. Just like, again, the production skill, the quality of that is just like, it bums me because it's like a talent gone too soon, but also what they've left is invaluable to new people who are like, how do I get that clean production out there? Can I strive for that? And it's like, that's the type of thing where, like we were talking at the beginning of our conversation, that will inspire people to keep going. It's like, you might not have necessarily had that, and you're just more like, I like to make stuff, and that's great too. But there are definitely people who need that. And like, you're that for a lot of people. That's why so many people were excited that I was talking to you, because they're like, I've got to ask questions. I have to learn what they did and like how like you approach certain aspects of production, because you are so inspirational for so many people out there, because they love that weirdness you throw into your music. But like it's like, yeah, it's weird, but it's like, it's so well thought out in the wildest way. Like I called it insane earlier, and that was, I was right. You have some insane things that you do that nobody would ever like normally think to include, you know? It's just like and I'm sure that's just kind of you clicking around like, it sounds kind of neat. That sounds funny. You're like, and you're not thinking of it.
We'll sort out.
Yeah. Like you're not thinking about it in that way, but everyone else who hears it is like, what's in this person's head? Like, why are they thinking like, and then sometimes the reality is just like, like you aren't thinking at all, and it's just goofing around, and a song comes out of it.
That's, not gonna lie, from my perspective, like it's like unimaginable. I was just thinking, I just like throwing my creation to like random internet, like not like even internet. I was just like making like CDs
Right.
for my, close, not like friends, but like audience, right? But like it can like discover like through internet, like by someone, and just like sip to the like Western audience without me knowing.
Right.
So that's like for longest time I have never like recognized for like years. So like I still like feel that's like unreal, but back then that was more like 100% like unreal, like unimaginable.
Mm-hmm. It's just I feel like that's such a common thing for so many artists is like you don't really realize it, and like that kind of happened to me too with the YouTube thing. People are like recognizing me, like not in person. I don't go outside, but like on the internet, they'll be like, "Wait a minute, I know that username." And I'm just like, yeah,
Wow.
that's me. And I'm like, that's it. Like, I don't have that many subscribers in the grand scheme of it all. But the fact that the internet is one big small
Mm,
town really
mm.
hits you when you're like, wow, these people know who I am. Like, I am huge on Billy, and I don't know why. Like, so many people watch my like videos are re-uploaded there, and I get so many comments about people, like from people, and I read them too. Like, I translate them and everything. I'm just like, what are they saying? Because I gotta know. But the fact that there's that other chunk of the world that has discovered me, and I didn't even know it existed for the first like year of that being a thing, and it's just like,
Yeah.
what?
That's a magic of like internet. I do like the like magic of internet happens like sometimes, like not like only to me, but like for the people like
Yeah.
who are active on the internet, and sometimes like they are creating something like way far from my recognition, but like just sometimes like the algorithm like picks it up and like just like show it to me. That's incredible, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when it happens.
Right. I still kind of hope for the day where like I make something that I'm so proud of that people like actively interact with and aren't like just I mean my YouTube videos are a thing, sure, but I'm like I want that one like artistic outlet to really take off. And like I've got animation ideas. I have like some mascots for my channel that I've kind of been trying to put in, and I'm just like I want to make them a thing, and like maybe I can animate them and like back into animation, and I want it to happen, but I don't know if it ever will. So it's like I hope someday that happens and people like will see my characters out there and be like, oh, I know them from this, and just like
Yeah,
have that
from
moment.
that animation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we'll see, but like that's one of those like long-term goals for me is just to have that thing that people are like, that's him, that's the guy.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, like having long term goal, and like that is like connected, like not like maybe not directly, but like how to say it? Like vaguely connected to your own like activity. Like now is like really cool for you to have like in the future like plan.
Yeah, and it's like it sounds so like conceited to say it because it's like I want my thing to be popular, but at the same time there's that aspect of like you have that thing you love that you want to be known for, and it's just a matter of will it ever take off. And I'm sure you kind of had that same thought when you were getting started with music, or you're just like, I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna love doing it, but then like at a certain point you're like, there's enough people following me, I wonder where this might lead. And then when you discover that other part of the world who loves you, and you're just like, when did you all get here? But it also kind of fills that hole where you're like, people have recognized me, and it humbles you a little bit that the world has like responded to that creativity. So it's like I don't think there's so much of an ego to that as it is a goal that like you want to make something that resonates with people to that degree where they love it because you loved making it. And I think you've gotten there because you still love what you do, and that shows that. But oh God, I dream for that day where that happens.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you too. Like, I'm just like making music. I'm just musician. Still, I in my heart, I'm just a making music like in my room, like alone. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm how to say I'm 100% for the people who is trying to like express themselves, like
Mm.
trying to create something out of their passion. I'm 100% for them.
Yeah. First question, technically second, because we did do the one earlier, but we'll skip that one. So first question is from Sam Integer. How did you come up with the sound design and feel of every song? I think we did kind of touch on this, but like,
Hmm.
is there any more specific detail to that?
Um, Sound design. Usually so it's probably like not everyone's like what everyone does. Sorry, the opposite of like what
Mm.
everyone does, but I usually go with like blank synthesizer, like blank patch, and I start to like how to say um like kind of like randomly pick up like one of the like waveform like samples whatever like find and I started to like create something out of that sample or waveform. So I kind of think I kind of take it as like me enjoying creating sound design.
So coming up with it is basically just taking the first piece and starting to shape it and seeing what
Yeah.
comes out of that.
Like finding like something that you might like find potential in it, and I just started to like create the sound I like from that like basic waveform.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it makes
kind of
sense.
yeah.
There's like you got to have a starting point. It's just like for every single
Mm.
song, it's so different because you're using a different sample to like
Yeah,
as the
absolutely.
starting point. You
Mm.
do, and that's gonna be that's hard to explain. I can't think of a way I would explain that really, like because
Yeah,
every
it's
song
hard
being
to
so
put it in the
different.
words.
Because if
Mm.
there's no consistency to that, you just kind of start messing with stuff and like turning knobs and seeing what works, and like
Yeah.
every song ends up being
Mhm.
different.
And sometimes like there's like a some kind of like imagination that I might want to create, like a how to say like vague idea of the sound I want to recreate. So I start to like form something like towards that idea, but usually I do that kind of like random thing and figure it out how to like incorporate in my song. That's what I do on my sound design.
Okay, second one. Joshua Great wants to know if you have a favorite genre or a favorite song specifically, and just like in a general sense.
Okay, so for the for the favorite song, I like the song that is named "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley.
Really? That's your favorite song?
No, that's a joke.
Okay, I was like,
That's a joke.
no,
That's a joke. I
it's
always
not a
and
bad song. I was just
yeah,
surprised.
it's a good song. Like
Yeah.
absolutely,
Like
freaking
obviously the
yes.
memes got a hold of it, but like it
Hmm.
is like legitimately a good song, and I think
Yep,
people
yep,
forget
yep.
that.
Absolutely. Like meme song is always a good one.
Mm,
Like we like they memed it because that's good. That's what they want to listen.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
fair.
from that like yeah. So yeah. So in defense, yes. Never Gonna Give You Up is a good song, but I always like answer. I like Never Gonna Give You Up because it's a joke, but also like I always struggle to like pick one song that I like.
Neither can
So
I. Yeah, like there's so many good songs
yeah,
out there. I can't pick a favorite
that
band, nothing.
that's hard.
Yeah.
But for the genres, yeah, I kind of like give it a few. I like bass music, so
Mm.
that's one thing. And like from the bass music, like I like dubstep, like EDM. I like drum bass. I listen to drum bass all the time. I won, so I think I have been listening to drum bass for like I don't know, like 13 hours, like like
Jesus.
yeah.
That makes a lot of
So,
sense.
yeah, drum bass. I like drum bass. And besides electronic like subgenres, I do love to listen to like jazz, metal, uh, funk, Latin, and also like world music like ethnic,
Mm,
traditional music like
yeah.
all across the world. That is so much various how to say like vague how what's the word like so huge variety of music like throughout
Yeah.
the history of like
Yeah.
humanity.
That's why I love it too. I like
Mm.
just hearing different sounds from across the world. Like I mean, like obviously I've got a little bit of a bias here, but I love like traditional Chinese, Japanese. It's like, oh, it's every single time.
Yeah, they're
So if you put
mm.
an arrow on a song, I'm dead. I love that. I love hearing it. If
Yeah,
somebody puts a
absolutely.
kodo on, yeah, it's like, oh, shamisen just, but it's
And
I
I
love
love the
the sounds of it
mhm.
because there's so much. It feels effortless when it's like a traditional instrument, and I think that comes from the same place you like world music, which I do too. I like a lot of sounds out of Africa, Aboriginal music too. It just has such a good rhythm to it, and that's because that's what it is. Like strip away all of the effort trying to make it sound good. It's just it sounds fun.
Sure,
It
yeah.
it's most of it just is
It's
so
so
natural.
sophisticated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's natural instead of trying to calculate what it
Mhm.
is, and it
I think
feels
it,
so
yeah.
nice.
Mhm. I think I'm biased in the like opposite way, but I think I feel the same for like country music, like
Hmm.
from the it's from the America,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I think I feel the same for like country musicians, like they are like effortless, like they're like sophisticated in like same specific way.
Yeah.
And that makes me
People
feel
really do not understand how complicated a banjo is to play.
they
Like
yeah.
just for like one example, those things are
Yeah.
insanely complex.
Mhm.
And like I've always
Yeah.
like I was raised in a heavily country family in the middle of nowhere. I had a lot of influence from like general country music, bluegrass, folk music is like in my blood. And it's like so many
Uh,
people just don't like it because it's country here. It's a very negative opinion for a lot of people. And it's like you're missing out on a lot of really skilled
mm,
musicians by just ignoring all of that.
yeah, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, and I think that's yeah for this like same thing happens here like for like Japanese people too. Like
Mm,
they tend to feel like Japanese like traditional music is like boring and like how to say it? You know that's in the same way that you might feel like toward like country music, and
yeah.
that's kind of like ignorance. I kind of get it, but like it's like
I've
very
I've seen so many jokes about like
Mhm.
Enka as like
Oh my
you
god.
know I personally I think there's beauty in that and like there's a Chinese opera song that's in Genshin Impact and
Oh
it is
wow.
gorgeous. It made me cry the second time I heard it because the first
Yeah.
time I was experiencing it and I didn't know what it was connected to, and the second time I saw like the cinematics and she was singing it live at one of their concerts and you get to see all that context and I lost it. Like I actually was tearing up. Like it hits you when it's like that's the beauty of music though. Around the world it'll affect you differently, but when you're there and you're hearing it all the time, it's so annoying. And it's just like stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know like everyone has like their own
mm,
bias, but like when you want to like enjoy listening to your like familiar music,
mhm.
you might need to like get rid of like bias
Yeah,
yourself.
got to get away from that topic or we'll be here all night.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
Okay, so Dex wants to know, do you ever get ideas for a song from the game itself? Like, does the gameplay or charting style affect it? I think I kind of asked this earlier as well, where like you kind of said yeah, but like
Mhm.
it doesn't affect the song composition, but the gameplay doesn't really affect it either. You just kind of make it and let it happen. So I think we did kind of cover that one.
Yeah, sometimes I get like how to say, consider that like certain aspect or certain like gimmick of the game
Mm.
like incorporated in my song, but usually I try to do like whatever I want
Yeah.
to fit.
I would figure a lot of the people who are charting it are obviously working to whatever you make. So that kind of works in the reverse where you're not making it for the game. They make it like there's something sliding around on Sound Voltex because you put in something sliding around. And it's the other way, not so much I'm going to make it do that because I know that they'll chart it weird, which I guess you could do, but I feel like that's overthinking it and might restrict you in some ways too.
Yeah, some people like sometimes do. I sometimes pick to like do that, like how to say, like what's the word? What's the word? Like usually when they want to like do the like some curve line like sound voltex, like it just like trace the melody line or like scratch kind of thing to like how to say, imitate the like scratch like movement, right? So I like come say reverse engineer that and like put like some like scratch onto the song, but
because like they're gonna do that, so you add it in.
Absolutely, okay. Yes, but that happens, but usually I try to get away from it and just like do what I want to do.
Right. I feel like that's where the best art's going to come from is like if you're enjoying the process, they'll like it too. But if you're like forcing yourself to follow a certain guy, and then there's like no guarantee that that's the only game it's going to end up in because there's so many people who upload fan versions of it in different games. And it's like, well, now it's not going to work because I made it for this game, but they're putting it in this game. So yeah, that makes sense too. All right. Conductor Voltage wants to know, what are your favorite VSTs, or do you have any ones that you recommend using?
Okay. So the first VST that comes to my mind is like Phase Plant from like by Kilohertz. And that is a very like it's kind of similar to like Reaper, but it's like very customizable, like very what's the word? Modular kind of like synthesizer. Like you can just like create something and just like combine all of like other elements to make one sound kind of like synthesizer. So if you are aware what you are doing, that's one like first recommendation from my experience. But if not, if you're just starting like creation and start to learn how to create music, maybe I'd say like Serum is one of the best choices.
I hear
like
Serum a lot. I've messed around with Serum once or twice in the past too. It's got some learning curve, but it's pretty easy to figure out. Basically, just keep turning knobs until it sounds cool. It's kind of
yeah. And there are like infinite amount of like preset that you can just like get and like try to figure out what's going on the like the synth what's the word? What? Like generation.
Oh yeah, we kind of talked on this earlier too, but Arathane wants to know, how do you approach song balance, like making things feel consistent yet chaotic, or when to do a change up or a drop? Like, how can you feel that out?
Okay, so for the balance thing, I like balance everything like based on the intensity of the climax part. So that's my answer. And for the how to say the structure, did you say like structure, like
just general
song,
like how the song feels as it goes?
Yeah. I'm very personally I'm very easy to get bored. Like I'm like I have like attention like a chicken like for a second or something. But that works in the same way when I listen to music and also like when I create music. So I get bored when there's so much repetition.
Mm-hmm.
And when I feel I'm bored when I listen to my music, like when I listen to my own like working project, I'm like unintentionally, but also like intentionally, I feel I need to change something at that point because I'm bored when I listen to that like working project. That's what I do when I try to like make a change on my song.
That's so the secret is to have ADHD.
Not gonna lie, yes.
Yeah.
So that's not a valid
I mean,
advice
well,
for
it's
everyone.
kind of valid because, like,
Kind of valid, yeah. Not gonna lie.
it definitely there's merit to that of just like if you feel the song is getting boring, even if you don't have ADHD and it's hard to figure out where that is. I guarantee they have a friend who does. So many people have it. I have it. That's why I think your music works so well for so many people is because it kind of scratches that itch for like especially people with autism and ADHD and everything adjacent to that, where it's like finally movement, evolution. It doesn't stop, and it's like it's so stimulating to the brain that way. So the fact that that's literally why you write it that way is just because you're bored too. That's so validating. Senpapi wants to know, are there any specific artists that influenced your sound? I know we kind of mentioned how you're kind of listening to everything and that changes, but is there any like one or two people that like kind of set you on a path maybe?
Okay. So the first person that comes to my mind is like regarding the question is like Nekomata Master, who is like an active like musician from the game company like Konami. I know you know Konami.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like working on like various game titles, including like B Money, like rhythm games. And he had such a like unique style. And I like honestly like fell into love with his music. That is one of the people who shaped my music in a like specific way, in a good way. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, sick. The next question was from Seafoam, but we answered that immediately at the start of this call, which is what made you start making music, and now we know.
And that's a lost media. I don't have that MP3 anymore.
Yeah, we'll never hear that one, but that's okay. The inspiration was there, and it got you here. That's all that matters at the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
The next two questions are kind of long. They have like multiple stages to them.
Yep.
So we'll kind of work through them, and I'll try to add anything if needed. But Matthew Wang wants to know, when making a story-based song like Rex or REX, I don't know how that is, or is it Nacreous Snowmelt? I don't know, or Nacreous Snowmelt?
Nacreous Snowmelt.
Okay, I hadn't seen that title before. What guides your decisions on how to shift between genres? Like, do you start with a concept, or do you build around that, or do the transitions and sound design and naturally make up the song? How does that all work?
Okay.
It's kind of similar to the earlier question about like
yeah. Like those songs have like a lot, like a ton of like genre switches like during the song. I usually try to how to say compose a bare bone like skeleton, like basic concept of like whole song with like very simple like instrumentation, like just a piano or something, and I try to like rearrange that into like separate genres. Like for like this specific section, I try to like rearrange that into like drum bass, and this section for like dubstep, like for this section like feature bass. It's kind of something like that. Right. So I think that's more like a arrangement, how to say, tasks, I guess.
is it kind of similar to how you're just kind of like you get bored after a while and you're like, hey, you set out that like initial like composition and then you're like, and you re-listen to it and you're like, okay, here, like you just you kind of pinpoint the spots.
It kind of works in reverse. Like it's kind of like there's a concept of like it's kind of like vague subgenre that's called like full flavor, like full like flavorful.
Yeah.
Like and that is like based on like how many times you can switch genres. Like you can just like fit like 10 of it, like 12 of
right. Like how far can
genres.
you push this before it gets absurd?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I try to like how to say struct a song like in mind of that switches. So like I how to say maybe that's a very basic like composition, but like in mind of like arranging like different parts to different genres, I guess. So that's work in a different like reverse way kind of.
Yeah, so like the song and like the story building kind of comes from the multiple genres and you're like, how many times can I change something? Does that, I guess, kind of like an additional thought to that, does the genre you change to change the story you're telling, or is it just like you have an idea of what genre you want to go for a specific story beat? Like which direction does that work in?
Oh yeah. So like very blatantly, honestly, I usually try to like how to say squeeze out my like possible the most variation of genres that I can do like out of like that ideas. So I usually like put random like genres like in a very random but at least like natural way.
Right, so you don't want anything that's like completely impossible to connect them. You want them to be like, I'm gonna go from
at least
dubstep to complextro is easier to connect than jazz to death metal, you know, like that.
Exactly. So yeah, from the storytelling like perspective, like it's not effective because of my it's not impossible to like using I don't know like a dozen of genres while keep like telling story based on that genre. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah,
it does. You're just telling the story and kind of letting things flow through, but if you have too much of a shift in the genre, that could change the story so drastically. And if you want it to be smooth, you have to make sure the genres blend a little bit, at least a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like otherwise you're making something insane and it's just like, why were we just happy and now we're like extremely pissed? Like it's a completely different energy. So that's
conflict to like storytelling. So I kind of like get rid of like storytelling.
Okay. All right. This is a final question, also another multifaceted one. Saint Vina is wondering, when doing collabs, do you have preferences about how the other musician you're working with sounds? Like, do you have any favorite artists to collab with, or any that you don't see yourself working with due to their sound?
So, not gonna lie, the favorite artists, like favorite musicians that I wanted to collab with is like are like Toppy Fox, Richard Eby, like who plays like guitar, and 8-bit drummer who plays drums, and I have already collabed with like all of them.
Right.
I just like asked them to make something together, and they said yes. So we just like make something together. So I kind of have no like left musician to collab with. I have a lot of like favorite musicians, but I don't think I like how to say I realistically try to reach them to like collaborate. So I kind of like humble to like not to want to collaborate with them. So I think I do have like a favorite musicians I do want to collab, but not realistic now.
Yeah, do you have like, is there that one like the one holy grail that you would love, like even if it is impossible, Like they could be like Hollywood known. We're talking anything.
Okay.
Like it could be somebody that you're already in contact with, but it could also be fucking Sabrina Carpenter or
yeah. Okay.
Well, work with Utada Hikaru. Like,
so it's like like completely hypothetically.
Yeah.
Huh. So it's very weird choice, but I think you know who John Williams is.
Yeah. Really? You would love to work with
it's a completely random choice, but he makes such amazing like piece of works. Yeah, I kind of want to like make something with him, like hypothetically.
Right?
Possible.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to ask, because it's just like there are so many people where it's like you wouldn't expect like to work in any facet with somebody like that. Like really?
Yeah, and also like something like that. Yeah.
Like for like those who aren't aware out there who John Williams is just based off name, we're talking the guy who made the soundtrack for Star Wars, E.T., Jurassic Park. He's in like that's not somebody.
He's a living legend.
Yeah, somebody you would never like in your own style really ever align with, but you have those people where you're like, God, I would love to work with them someday if like if the opportunity ever happened. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's fair. I just didn't expect you to go that direction. That's kind of awesome.
So there are like also like other people like who can come to my mind, but there are so many, and I dream of like one day collabing with them.
But also now I'm gonna dream of the sound that you and John Williams would create. Because that would be such an amazing genre blend.
Insane. Yeah.
Like I don't know what the hell you would do to make a cinematic soundtrack like that, something that's so like gorgeous and orchestral, and you're like, I'm gonna crank that shit to 11.
Drop the freaking bass drop. That'd be insane, actually. Not gonna lie.
The image of him composing a 40-piece orchestra, and you're like on a DJ table next to him. Just like, who let this guy in? Oh man, that's awesome. Of all of the decisions, I never would have guessed you would have picked him. That's wholesome. That's so good. The additional part to St. Venus' question was, they're a big fan of Dida Dice. I always get that name mixed up. Takio, Void, Billy and Moto. Do you have you heard of any of them? And if so, could you imagine working with them? Like, it's just like if they were to ever approach you, or if you want to approach them, is that even like on your radar of like, sure, I could work with, Dida Dice or whatever? Like,
I think I've never like been contacted with like by Dida Dice, but if there's like any good opportunity to work with him, I'd love to do that. And I honestly have no idea how the song would turn out. I kind of like have like bad, how to say, like gut instinct. Like, I usually mess up like collaboration. Like often,
you'll send something and they'll be like, "What the hell did you just do?"
Yeah, like often, like I'm more like a arranger side of like more than like composer side. Like I like sound design more than like composing like melodies. So if they're like more preferable on like composing side, it works better as collaboration, but sometimes it just like work in a like colliding way if they're more on the like arrangement side.
Right. So it's like one of you would have to be like the leader of the collaboration. Like when he has to like take the reins, here's a melody, and then you kind of remix it, and that'll be the final thing. Because if we keep handing this back and forth, nothing's getting done.
Sometimes that happens. Like actually, I don't name like any of them, but like that sometimes happens. Like during some of my collabs too, and I kind of feel, oh my gosh, I'm such a like arranger.
Yeah. All right. That is fair. I think like this is just a personal thing. But I think like I don't know I mentioned Reek earlier. I would love to hear what you two do together. Like just like that's like kind of my brain, like what direction that would go with his production on the technical side, and then with like your nonsense, you're just complete like I'm gonna do whatever to this. I would love to see that, just like taking it and going wherever in every direction, sending that back to Reek, and then having them like head and face like how am I supposed to mix all this? But it would probably sound gorgeous, you know, like between the directions that both of you take, and both of you take really interesting directions in like where drops and shifts in the music happen. I think there would be total potential for that sort of a collaboration. And I could see with Dida Dice as well. I've heard stuff from Takio Void and Billiam Moto too. Like all of them I could kind of see you working with. I think Dida Dice probably the best out of all of them.
Yeah,
but
I also believe so.
Yeah, like as you were to get more comfortable with like sharing that, like the workload of being the main producer on it, that would be like you got to get there before you can get comfortable. So that's fair. But like in my head, I'm hearing like your work with the technical approach of Reek and just having that the post-production just is insane. I fucking love Reek. Like I'm not like trying to be like, oh, your production's bad, because you've got great production too. But there's just a spice that Reek adds to every single song that is just like, how are you making these frequencies so clear? Like, what's your secret sauce? Like, I don't know. It's beautiful every time. It always gets me. But there are a lot of producers that have that, and it's becoming more frequent. There's somebody in my Discord who had insanely good production. I'm like, where are you? Why aren't you putting stuff out there? They're like, I haven't made music in like 5 years. I'm like, well, you need to fucking start. Like, it's so good. They were the person, I think, that might have been the person who did the whole thing with the talking at the end. I think it might have been the same person. But either way, it's like, God, you're so good at just knowing where to place frequencies and getting things balanced out, which is usually probably the biggest hurdle for most producers, is like getting the mix down and understanding that side of it. It's like you can make a bunch of songs, but if it doesn't sound good, people are going to walk away. So when people really nail that down and they do it consistency, it's like, oh, how? Did you go to school for this? Like, how did you manage?
I'd love to know that too. Like, my mix kind of like cramped together, so I kind of want to like improve that in future too.
Yeah, as I always I preach about panning all the time on my videos, because like panning is so important, and everyone just shoves their mix into the center channel. It's like, stop doing that.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta
separate.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that the room has the song has room to breathe, because and that's like a part of the dynamic mixing that we were talking about earlier. That's a factor as well. You got to make room for things as the song goes on, otherwise it's going to sound weird, or just like a pile of mud, and it's like I can't hear anything going on. And so many songs do that too. It's like, where are the drums? I can't hear it over the guitar. It's there's like 10 layers of synth, and you can only hear the lead. And I need
to listen to your advice too.
I mean, just because that's just something I've always noticed, like in general. It's like, it's cool when it's like moving around your head. That's like a showboaty sort of thing, where it's like, oh wow, I can like move it all around your head. It sounds like you're in a room with it. But you don't have to try that hard. You just have to make sure things are making room for certain aspects. Like the lead guitar should be in the center, the kick and the snare on the drum should be in the center, but like the drums, like the way I mix them for my own stuff is like, if I were behind the kit, where am I hearing things? Like the hi-hat is further left, the floor tom is further right, and making sure the rooms are broad. It's like, but so many people just go, drums, center. It's like, no, then there's no room for anything else.
Imagine. I think that's a good word. Yeah. Imagine how your sets, like your individual instruments are at.
Yeah, it's like the difference of going to like a basement venue where like you're right in front of a band and you can hear all of the instruments naturally versus a professional like show at a huge venue and like it's all perfectly mixed exactly for the venue. It's a completely different experience. That's the exact same thing. It's just in person. For those who never know what people are talking about when they say panning, go to a live show, a small one and a big one. Like, you will be able to tell the difference between your local rock band versus baby metal, like going to town and having that super high production value. I went to a baby metal show in 23. It was amazing. It was so good. And it's like, of course it's a professional show. But I've also seen plenty of small rock bands and like indie groups in the area, and they sound fine, but you can tell that there's that basement feel to it because nothing is mixed right. So it's just, that's the same thing, but when it's a production on an album as a release, you've got to pay attention to it. Otherwise, people will be able to tell. But that's kind of it for my ramble there. I go off on those things.
I was just like having fun, like listening to your ramble. Those actually really interesting.
Well, I think that was basically it then. We covered all the subjects, everything. 2.5 hours is not too bad. So we did pretty good.
That was a good session.
I did not want to push it too far with the Q&A session. We've got all the questions out, which is great. I wasn't sure if you had like a hard line of 2 hours. So having that extra time helped out a lot. Though a lot of it was also rambling.
That was good.
Okay, but either way, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you and meet you and etc. I don't know how. I never know how to end these out. Like, usually these videos just kind of end up like us talking until I find a way to fix it in the edit, and then that's...
I see.
But
so yeah. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about my stuff too.
Yeah.
That was a really fantastic session, Q&A session.
That really is it. The ends are the hardest to do because it's just like I've got to like cut you loose at some point and be like, go live your life.
Yeah.
But
so if you're still watching this conversation, subscribe.
Gotta do the thumbnail face like, I talked to Camellia.
Oh my god.
I've got to let you go. We've been here for almost 3 hours, so
oh my god. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time very, very much. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.